play a lot of guys today. I think we had 11 different ball carriers throughout the course of the game. There's always things that we can continue to improve, but I'm going to dwell on the positives. I thought we played with really good energy throughout the course of the game. That was one of the things I challenged our players with all week long. It had nothing to do with our opponent. It was everything that had to do with us and our preparation, our effort, our energy, our execution. We're our biggest opponent, our own team, and we control our own destiny. We control our own outcomes, and that's what I wanted to see today. Are there things, like I said, we can clean it up? Just looking at the stats real quick, when you're only in third down 6 times during the course of the game, that's a positive. When you get your opponent in third down 15 times, force them to punt 7, 8 times, that's a positive. Creating 3 takeaways, 10 change of possessions, you should win games. And so offense was explosive. Defensively, did a nice job, played a lot of people. I think that'll have big positive effect on our team as we move forward, especially as we get closer and closer to Missouri Valley football. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
How big was the special teams touchdown to start it off with Jalen?
Well, it's I don't know if anyone really anticipated. We did a great job of getting a body on a body. We got connected with people. It hit the ground. I think he was actually thinking of Peter calling it, just getting everyone away. But it took one of those perfect bounces that allowed him to get underneath it, and he had a head start, and it was a big explosive play. A little frustrated about the celebration down there. We need to clean some of that stuff up. But to be able to score on special teams is big. We put a lot of time and effort into it.
Your offense in the first half, Matt, had a bunch of big plays.
Yeah.
As you said, explosive plays. What does that do for you?
Well, I think we tried to expand a little bit of the playbook today. You saw a little more quarterback run game. You saw some more motion. Just trying to give Quincy just a little bit more opportunities back there to find his playmakers, and he was able to do that, and we were able to execute. Getting the ball into Christian's hands, getting them into our backs' hands, who all have the ability to break tackles and make big plays. So I was a little surprised at the time of possession at halftime. I think we'd had it for about 9 minutes, and I think they'd had it for about 21 of the first half. A little bit unique, but it was a good, solid job. I'm not going to complain about explosive plays.
Quincy, the touchdown run that he had where he took off on the left side, that's what you saw from him at Virginia Tech?
Sure. Those are the opportunities he could create with his legs. That was you're referencing the 2 minute, kind of the last minute of the half. We got into kind of a 2 minute mode. We felt like, I felt like what a great opportunity. We get a live 2 minute. Usually in practice it's controlled. We don't go live in that situation. And he did a great job of just making a decision and making it fast and taking off with the football. And you saw his ability to break tackles, and he runs pretty well for 245 pounds.
Is there something about getting backups in that helps Monday through Friday?
Oh, I definitely. You talk about guys being more focused in meetings, guys having purpose now. The scout teams are going to be ramped up because there's a lot of guys who now understand and know what it feels like to be a Bison and get their first couple carries, get their first couple snaps in like that. I think that's critical in the development process. I think it also helps Coach Kramer in the weight room, just getting them locked in, refocused, and say, I have room to grow. I need to continue to develop so I can be the starter. I can be the one of the main pieces to both our offense and defense.
Matt, Jalen's played 10 games and scored 7 touchdowns. I knew you had high hopes from coming in, but has this even exceeded your own expectations for Bussey since he got here?
Well, I keep talking. He's a change of pace back. He's just different in his running style. He's real patient, and then he can hit it, and then he can go. He does a tremendous job of having the vision of hitting things out the backside. That play, we're running star to the left, and he hit it out the back door there, and he's got excellent speed, track kid in high school. It seems like he does score a lot of touchdowns and has big plays, and maybe we got to start getting him the ball more often.
What did you make of Cole's run down the sideline in his first game?
It looked a lot like his high school highlight film.
How much of the playbook has been open for Quincy?
Oh, I think there's a fair amount that's still guarded. We got to continue to move at a decent pace, making sure that he's comfortable. It's all 11 guys on offense have to be comfortable with it. We're still trying to create a little bit of continuity with our offensive line. working some pieces in there at guard, at tackle. This was good for us because we got a lot of people reps today, but I think there's still a lot of things we can continue to do offensively with his skill set and with the other playmakers surrounding him.
Any injuries involved?
Not that I know of. We tried to get some guys out as quickly as we can. James Kaiser didn't play today. If it would have been the final game of the year, he would have been able to play. I felt like that we were better served protecting him and getting him ready for next week. He kind of has one of those chronic injuries, and we get too far behind, then I'm afraid he's going to miss a bunch of time. All right, appreciate it, guys.
Quincy, it's been 2 games. Describe what you've seen out of your offense so far and how comfortable you're at with things.
Really just, I'm so much the game, but so much like practice. Monday through Thursday, I just feel like we just kept getting better. And it's kind of the same thing with Albany. And that's a big thing you want to see out of your team. You don't want Tuesday to be the best practice that you have. You want that Thursday to be that day when every day, everything's clicking. And I feel like that's what we've been doing, and that's why our offense is clicking now.
You've only thrown it 21 times. You feel like, hey, I just want to in 2 games. You feel like I just want to throw it a few more times, right?
Honestly, not really. If we score touchdowns, we score touchdowns. And we win games, and I haven't thrown the ball much. And if I don't need to throw the ball to win the game, that's fine. But ultimately, if I need to throw the ball, then I'll be ready to do that. But I'm just happy we're winning.
Coach was here talking about your footwork and praising that. Just what was it about the feet today that was comfortable for you?
Couldn't even tell you. I guess with the whole practice thing, just doing what they tell me to do, and practicing it perfect during practice, so that way in the game I'm not really thinking about it.
The touchdown run, Quincy, was that a pass play that turned into a scramble, or what was it? Describe the play that you went for the touchdown.
Yeah, so it was a drop back pass, and I had a full field scan, and by the time I got to the middle of the field, they were kind of in my face a little bit, and so I just went to step out to the left, and then I just seen nothing but green, so I just took off.
Were the restraints taken off a little bit today, as opposed to the Albany game? Did the coaches kind of say, go ahead and do your thing, or?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was necessarily all restraints. I just feel like Coach Roll has a mind where it's we're going to do exactly what we need to do, and the Albany game, what we did is what we needed to do, and I feel like this game, whatever we call it is what needed to be called in those situations. And we were running the ball like crazy, so we called 41 power, I think, 4 times in a row. So if it's working, it's working. So it's one of those things.
Michael, defense seemed engaged pretty much all game. Describe that.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I think, we always respect any opponent that comes in here, and that's what we take pride in. And I think that we, from the get-go, from play 1, we're playing fast, physical, playing bison defense, communicating, hitting our fits, and not playing slow and waiting to see how their tempo, and just playing our tempo of football.
Jalen, you played 10 games. You had 7 touchdowns in college. If I would have told you that, would you even believe me when you got here? Of the success you've had so far?
Yeah, no, not at all. I definitely wouldn't have thought any of this would have happened, honestly. Shout out to God for that. But, just trusting the process, Coach Roll, you got to trust your tracks. That's what he always telling me, and it always works out for me in my favor, so it works.
What is it about big plays? I know obviously your speed is a huge part, but can you describe that? Every time it seems like it's a big play for you.
I'd probably say, being a smaller back, I might get lost back there. I definitely feel like on that 72-yard run, I got lost and then bounced it back. They probably didn't know where I was at, and then having the speed on top of that. So just being a small, shifty back.
Michael, what's it like to try and tackle him in practice? What's that been like?
He makes us better. All those guys make us better. But, Bus, being a guy, like you said, more shifty, smaller guy, it definitely helps us, being an open field tackling and making those certain tackles. But, like I said, all those guys help us get better in practice. We haven't got to go up against them as much as, we did in camp, but it's definitely a challenge every day, for sure.
To hold on to the shutout at the end, I'm sure that was big for the seniors on defense.
Yeah, no, that was awesome to see. It's awesome to see, different guys, younger guys getting in there and owning their role and, holding it down. No points on the board. That's the standard for no matter who's on defense, and that's exactly what they did. So it was awesome to see.
Jalen, does the offense feel more explosive than it did in the spring? I know the spring was a weird situation, but I think in the first half you guys averaged 19 yards a play or some crazy numbers. It just feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like, this year we really focused on being the top rushing offense in the country. So with that, the line's coming off the ball more, so that creates some more explosive plays. Fullbacks were not waiting on the defense to hit us, we're going to go attack them, and then it opens up lanes for us running back. So, yeah.
Quincy, how anxious are you to take this thing on the road and see it play in a different environment next week?
I mean, it's always cool to be at home, and I mean, you always get the energy from the crowd and stuff like that, but I feel like it's a little different when you play away just because you got that, like, extra, like, chip. Like, you know, you kind of want to embarrass another team in front of their fans and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I'm approaching this game, and I just hope we go in there ready to go and that we do just that.